Welcome you here. And I believe this is going to be one of the special evening for us for various reasons. I'll tell you why. Because the person who is the focus today is very, very dear to me, that's number one. And not only me, he is very, very dear to lots of intellectuals and poets. And a lot of people, they are dependent on him because of his skill. What's the full name is? Stephen was translated. And actually his heritage has come from Italy. I always call him a mountain man from Alps. And he has a very strong cultural link with Scotland. And if you don't see him here, if you don't find him here in London, you have to guess. Either he's climbing on the mountain, or he is in Scotland, or his third home, like which is Brick.
Journals type and kind of prose he was extending, and then I think initially he said, it's in the prosaic style, he said that poetry is his mother tongue, but he happens to be writing in English.
Kaj narediš, ko spoznaš, da te je jezik izdal? Kaj ti jezik, tako kot salama, mora po zimi zoreti s svinjskim trpljenjem vseh govoric? Kaj narediš, ko spoznaš, da nimaš sodobnikov v velikem belem mestu sonca? Krvava klavnica jezika. Šele ko sem zase v ljubezni zbral besede, lahko rečem, da znam govoriti.
Lord, in dream I was lifted out of London and sailed above the briny floors of the earth. I went north over Scotland and reached Barra, and hovered over east like a sick kestrel, and looked down at islands strung out like pearls about the gorge of the western sea. Good corn stooped up, and got to Iceland in wakes of blue air. There on the brindled moor lay a hall, not a supermarket of packages and food, but the library of a culture not unearthed and thought printed in its bright language. Until a cool thermal took me, and I rose above the scattered seas and saw gross continents off to my side, fishing the placid, frightened ocean. And I could see another half of me gone.
Sento la montagna, nei fiossi, il ferro e la pelle che si dislegua in asce e tempi splendidi. Ti sento la vesca, ti sei più nuovo. Ti sento la manteca, le svenguarde tuo fratello. Quando ti diranno la nostra immensità di spazi, nervi duri, lingue che parlano. Arti di scusande off, che meglio rivienti di estensioni crudi. Soldati, tacenti, in fila attraverso la neve, con un film che va in mezzo ad ritmi anche stranici. Il suo Dio speciale della neve che li sguarcia la vista.
Seems making compromises, that he's somehow managed to follow this calling, and not many people are able to do that. You know, most people who write poems do other things as well, but Stephen has always been totally dedicated to the business of writing poetry and to leading the life of a poet.
Birds of East London. When you live on the 21st floor of a tower and way past midnight you hear a fracture of wings, and in the morning there's a colour dove on your balcony. Is that a dream? When you live on the 21st floor and you get home just at dawn from a party, or you've been working at the desk all night, the desk of words, I mean, and the mist you've travelled home through lies flannelled just beneath your feet so you cannot see the ground, and yet the whole sky is kingfishered blue. Is that also a dream? But is it not also the most real? And out of such skies came birds and came bombs. When you live on the 21st floor and you notice that in a crack in the cladding a few metres down a kestrel has made her nest, and when you see that kestrel pinioned on its wing bone, sitting at ease in the middle air, shining sideways on sudden gusts, its unperplexed ligaments ready to dive it through skies of reality, through torn webs of nerves, and when you catch a feather of the coloured dove floating past your eye, is that not a dream, or is life only a dream? Or when you see Arctic geese flying beneath your feet toward the landing stage on the Camargue, just as once you saw them flying between the mountain and the sea, in the gap between sight and nothing, right there above your head, on those far islands of mica schist, way out west and beyond the times of clearance. Is that only a dream, or does life just dream us? And language has broken down. Language has been bandaged, like the sun, like the bandaged sun, and we speak in chunks of betrayal words when language itself has become. Or when at eye level from your balcony you see black darting swifts mewling in the fine drizzle, turning their sleek bodies in the sun as they bite tiny insects simply for sustenance. Is this just a dream of life? Or the gannet that plunges down cliffs of light as a brook lift might through shafts of dark and breaks the surface of the curdled water, leaving its tongues graffiti on the shore beneath, having picked out just one fish for its gizzard and gullet.
Already, and I didn't know I'd known or something like that. So yeah, I wanted to use Dad's poems and then write a sort of thing to go with it from my side, I guess.
That is a very good piece of work, and I was stunned, like, you know, your words, I mean, just your father, he's unparalleled, you know, I mean, having him over there and putting your words in there, I mean, you both were supported with your creation by the film, but words were wonderful, wonderful, well done. You have a good voice too. Right, anyone dying to ask anything?
Ever since I have come to live in Whitechaple, I've always interacted with friends within the Bangla community, just as a direct and natural thing to do. And even when I was at college, the single year I was at college was 1970 to 1971, and we organised, 4 or 5 of us, a very large meeting. About 1,000 people came to it. Because of the War of Independence, because of what was happening in Bangladesh in 71. So from that time, I was very closely linked with thinking and meeting people and getting to know people. And then I just naturally have always had many friends in the Bangla community here. More, I suppose, writers, but also, I mean, I go to cafes in enormous amounts, so I've got lots of friends in cafes too. And I have written quite a lot, yeah. I've written some essays, I've written the long poem that I didn't
young boy, one of those cameras, he was taking portraits of people. The first time it was exhibited in Bangla Academy there, in one of those National Book Fair. And do you know, it wasn't mounted. It was just with a paper under the tree, under the banyan tree, and literally birds were making a mess, you know what it is. And it's like heartfelt. And Mahmoud was a young guy doing it. And now he has got a whole archive of God knows what. He has got American stars, he has got Nobel winners, he has got Indian, Bangladeshi, Russian, American, British. Who is who in this world of celebrity world? Be captured by Mahmoud. But the irony is that all these people that he's capturing, no one did anything on him. It's Polish. So big hands to Polish.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Just a sentence before we are going to see this documentary. As you already informed that he's a celebrated portrait photographer. He are now based in Bangladesh, and he's going to establish a museum called Image Museum. So he's our friend, and it's a 20-minute documentary based on here, and it's a byproduct of our friendship. So we are going to watch that.
যে পথে কেউ হাঁটে নাই, আমি সেই পথে আমার ক্যামেরা ফোকাস করলাম, দেখলাম যে বাংলাদেশের পোর্ট্রেট ফটোগ্রাফি কেউ করে না। আমি 1972 সালে বাংলাদেশের পোর্ট্রেট ফটোগ্রাফি আরম্ভ করলাম, সূচনা করলাম। আমি যাদের উপরে কাজ করি, বিভিন্ন ক্ষেত্রের খ্যাতিমান ব্যক্তি, তাদের পোর্ট্রেট অর্থাৎ তাদের বিভিন্ন সময়ের নানা ধরনের আংটি মুহূর্ত, তাদের ব্যক্তিত্ব চরিত্র আমি তো বন্দী